Welcome to Graspable AI. This is the second part of using AI for ideation, creating and improving ideas. And this will show you some more complex ways of using AI for ideation. So first, an example of, I pretend that these are different cases or there are different categories of using AI for ideation. This is exploring a pretty vast space of different things you can do with AI in ideation. And one of them is exploring a large text base. If you get a lot of numbers, then you can use spreadsheets or diagrams or advanced statistic tools for exploring what do these numbers actually mean. But if you get a large set of text, it's much more difficult to explore that text before the time of the advent of large language models. Now, if you get 500 answers to a questionnaire, free form, free text answers, or you have a big archive of lesson plans 5 years back in Word documents or PDFs or something, or you have your own personal notes, a logbook or something collected over several years, you can use AI to explore them. I'm going to give you a fictive example that's kind of useful still. I'm taking a chatbot and asking it to give me 100 ideas of how I, as a teacher, can save time using a chatbot. Describe them with one sentence each. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. And here, then I get a long list of ways to use AI. And this could be the result of a brainstorm session with colleagues. It could be notes I've been taking for a long time. It could be, for that case, something that I just got for a chatbot like here. And this is too much. Well, 100 items I probably could read through. It would take some time. But keeping all my head in the same time is difficult. And even more so if you get 500 items or so. But then I could store this in a document and then go to another chatbot saying, here are 100 ideas of how I as a teacher can save time using a chatbot. What themes or categories can you spot in the material? And this could be highly useful if they're questionnaire answers or something. So the chatbot just reads through and starts sorting this in its artificial head into categories, saying something like this. We have content creation and curriculum development, the largest category, communication and documentation, assessment, describing each category with a sentence or two in this case. So this is a way of seeing, without having to read through and spend a lot of time on the actual base material, seeing what is this, what's the content of this. But still, this is only one way of viewing this, and I can continue exploring this material, saying, are there other ways of looking at the categories? Can you give me another way of categorizing this content? And I get this back. You can instead view it by time saved, or by frequency of use, or cognitive load, or educational function, by audience, by stage in teaching process, and so on. More ways of exploring this content, and I can ask, give me 3 more ways of looking at categories, and I get that back. And then I poke into this, well, let's have a look at what it answers by level of human oversight required, kind of interesting, by impact on something, by technology integration level. Again, the actual answers here, as often is the case, is not what I'm really after, but just showing you, taking a pretty substantive amount of text, you can use a chatbot to twist and turn and look at it from different angles to try to understand what is this, how can I use it? And this one, by level of human oversight required, makes me think of maybe I should look at this some kind of responsible AI use. So I asked the chatbot, how would you categorize the use cases based on responsible AI use? And I get something back based on that way of categorizing the content. And this, in turn, may help me understand the content, get ideas from how I can use it, how I shouldn't use it, how we can improve it. Maybe I want to build a workshop based on this, or I want to build half day of training for my colleagues and things like that. All right, and if this was your archive of lesson plans, perhaps you start seeing patterns, like you have maybe 4 or 5 different types of lessons you do. You often start in this way. In the last year you've done these kind of lessons much less than you used to do, or things like that. All right, that's one way of using AI for ideation. Something that is kind of similar is exploring ideas, expanding ideas in collaboration with AI. And I used a kind of strange image here. You might say this is a centaur and this is a cyborg. And these motifs are taken from, I think it was a guy called Ethan Mollick who wrote about 2 ways of collaborating or using AI as a tool. We have the centaur with a clear line between human and non-human. He called the people who use AI, I do this, and the AI does this other part of the work. They are centaurs. You have clear lines between what the AI does and what the human does. In contrast to the cyborg, where you have more blended parts between human and non-human, and you have a more collaborative way of working with the AI. And when you're done, you don't really know if this was your idea or the chatbot's idea, and who actually came up with these parts of what it was, or who wrote what, things like that, because you did it together. And this is more the way of working when you explore ideas in collaboration with AI. And that means basically using it as a sounding board, thinking along with the AI, having it bring you along on a path and follow it and see where it branches, and discuss with the AI where should we go. And some recommendations when you work with an AI like this is, at first, and this is the most important thing, put your thoughts into words. And you probably know already that this is a great way of oftentimes sorting out your thoughts and getting improve your understanding of a problem or a situation, just putting them into words. And then talk with AI or chat with it to explore, ask for feedback in different aspects. What are the strengths of this idea? What are the weak points? How should I improve this? Are there any dead angles where I can't really, I missed some important aspects? What are the core issues in this problem or this situation? Things like that. And long conversations is often the key in this case. You start off somewhere and then move along a path, finding stuff you didn't think about at the start. Also, look out for sycophancy. Chatbots are they are prone to agreeing with you. They are trained on material they're trained on thumbs up behavior, and people like AI that agree with you, which is a danger. So there are different tricks you could use for having less sycophancy from the AIs, like saying, here's an idea I really don't agree with. Can you help me put words on why I don't agree with it? Then it's much easier to get a criticism on an idea. You could also just try telling the AI to be straightforward and don't hold back criticism. Anyway, look out for sycophancy. I might have misspelled that word, but you hopefully know what I mean. All right. And this is a pretty long example. And in this case, it makes more sense to dig into what the AI actually answers. And I'm taking something that kind of describes my situation I had as a math teacher. I would like to discuss an idea I have with you as a math teacher. I teach 7-year-olds, struggle with a large span of math skills among my students. A third of the class are really struggling with math, with a poor grasp of fractions and even things like negative numbers. It's a challenge. I'm supposed to teach them stuff like logarithm, quadratic, statistical significance when they struggle with negative numbers. At the same time, there are some students who know a lot of math and want to be challenged in class instead of repeating fractions, for example. Many struggling students don't enjoy the subject, which I kind of understand. I'm considering mathematical games to inspire the students. Please help me think through this. Starting the conversation, getting some thoughts back artificial thoughts back from this chatbot. and it describes, starts by expressing sympathy, which is very common with at least this chatbot. And then it describes some ideas and helps me look at this idea from different angles. Critical question: what specific mathematical skills or concepts are you hoping the games will address? And then I have to think through this a bit more, back and forth, and maybe I just want to ask: is games the right approach for this problem I'm having? And then it is very agreeable, sycophantic almost. That's a smart question to step back and ask. It's kind of obvious, I guess. It's a good question. I won't get a Nobel Prize for that. Alternative approaches that might be more effective, and it helps me, explore this idea basically, and helps me moving along. All right. And then I get another idea. It might be so I could collaborate with 2 colleagues, gather all the struggling students in a single group and teach them together. That might be a good idea. Sharing this thought with the AI. Here is, it thinks that's a more promising approach than games, honestly, which is kind of non-sycophantic. And it brings me some things to think about here. Let's see. What's your school's stance on ability grouping? Some administrations are supportive, while others have strong policies against it. And this is a pretty big thing a divisive issue in math teaching, at least in Sweden. And maybe then I just ask, what does research say about ability grouping? And now it didn't search on the web before it answered, which means that this might be merely hallucinations. If I don't know much about this subject, I should probably ask it to please go verify this on the web, or use another tool to ask a more research-based question. But this still gives me a way of moving forward and exploring my ideas. All right, these are 2 pretty big and nebulous ways of using AI for ideation, but I hope it helps you find your own ways of exploring how to use AI to improve ideas and using AI in innovative ways. Another way you could use AI is to create artificial user panels. Here's a screen dump from an interesting study. They interviewed 1,000 people, a bit more than 1,000 people, and then used the transcript of the interviews, fed it to large language models, and had the AIs answer questionnaires as if they were the interviewed people, and had a 85 agreement with how the people and the persons themselves answered the questionnaire, which is a same agreement rate you have if the same person answers the same questionnaire a week later, which basically means that we can use AI to simulate people or individuals to some extent. And when it comes to ideation, it means that you can create artificial user panels. It could be students, it could be colleagues, it could be parents, or some other group target audience that you're interested in. You can create it. I wouldn't recommend describing actual individuals because that's kind of sensitive, but you can create fictive individuals that are representative for your target audience. Save them in a text file and use AI to create them. I would recommend. And then use them in the chatbot to evaluate your ideas, improve the ideas, ask for inspiration, or just ask about the target audience and try to understand what are their goals in life, how can I understand what they want to do and reach them better, for example. All right, final example is to use AI to create bespoke software. I put this in ideation. I think it fits pretty well here. But AI is nowadays so good at writing computer programs that you can create pretty complex programs using AI. And that is useful if you don't have the software that you want to have or would need in some situation available. It might be possible to find it online. You're not sure, or you tried a few things and it didn't really work the way you wanted. Try using a chatbot or some other AI tool to create that software for you. And there are several chatbots that include the functionality to publish so-called artifacts or canvas stuff as standalone web pages. You can do this at least in ChatGPT and in Claude. Those are the two I know. There are probably more, but these two I know work. And that means you can have a link that you give your students or colleagues or something, or just publish on I don't know, Facebook, that people can use the stuff you created or the chatbot created for you. Here's an example, just to make this more concrete. My students are learning elements and the periodic table. Please create a web page where they can practice. I want the following features. Well, you should be able to practice between translating between name, chemical symbol, and atomic number, right? Practicing recognizing, I think I spelled that correctly, particular types of elements such as noble gases, alkali metals, and halogens. So recognize the different types of elements. One unique fact about each element, for example, it's got its name from the sun, that's helium, or X% of the atoms in your body are carbon. There should be a bonus when the student get 5 correct answers in a row, and the interface should be clean and easy to use. All right, so this is a exercise in describing something in clear terms, and if you don't get what you want back, you can of course ask the chatbot to refine and change what you have. But I put as much as I could into this initial prompt. Start, and this took 2 minutes, a bit less than 2 minutes. I'm fast forwarding, obviously, but it doesn't take 2 hours to get a simple web page like this. Hup, and there it is. And then I can hit this publish button, publish and copy link, and then I open this page. What's the atomic number of zinc? 30. This was a pure guess from my part, but it was correct. That's nice. And your immune system needs zinc to function properly. What's a symbol? Well, Au, that's gold. Aluminium. Helium is a noble gas. 4 in a row. Yay, 5 in a row. You're on fire. All right, so this is a simple page, bespoke software built for my particular purposes. I can ask Claude in this case to change it, change background color, or add 10 chemical compounds that I select, or whatever way I want to change this. All right, time for an exercise. Last exercise in the part 1 of these 2 videos, you should spend at most 10 minutes. This time I want to spend at least half an hour to do one of these things that I showed you here. Explore a log text base using AI. Collaborate with an AI to explore and improve an idea that you have. Create an artificial panel of students or some other target audience to reuse later on. Or create bespoke software. And as I said, ChatGPT, Claude, and Lovable is a standalone AI service for creating things like this. Swedish service, by the way. I recommend using one of these. All right. At least half an hour for doing one of these things, and I hope you get something useful out of it. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.